The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, of cabbages and kings, and why the sea is boiling hot, and of course, whether pigs have wings. If you are listening, I am guessing that you too have lost someone to suicide. A child, a sibling, a parent, maybe a friend, or anyone you love. I officially invite you to be a part of Volume 1 of Because They Are Loved, a powerful new anthology of poems and letters that I am publishing, written by you, those left behind. Submissions are now open through June 30th with special first volume pricing. All proceeds go to support suicide loss services, charities, and grievers, and publication is planned for August 7th. Please listen to the end for a special coupon code just for you. Hello, fellow griever, and welcome back down the rabbit hole. I'm Melissa, and today I'm inviting you into something a little bit different. I do have some interesting topics that I'm going to take on this summer from here in the rabbit hole, but today I want to take just a second and update you, and hopefully entertain you a bit too. After all, we are all mad here, as Alice would say. So if you follow me on social media, or maybe if you're on my email list, you may have seen a few gentle hints lately about new things that I'm offering in the Leftover Pieces community. Soft launches, maybe little ripples, and some of you have already reached out to ask for more. If you haven't seen or heard a thing until now, you're exactly where you need to be, because today I'm going to lay it out with all of my heart, try to put some clarity on it, and definitely give you a little intention behind it. Everything I create in the Leftover Pieces is rooted in my lived experience of child loss by suicide. And then the conversations I continue to have with survivors just like you, the new offerings aren't just business ideas. They're sacred, heart-centered responses to what people have told me they need. So let's talk about what's new and what's coming. Let's start with the coaching. When I received my Master Grief Coach certification years ago, it was my intention to do one-on-one coaching. But as I've said before, I always lead with my heart here, and especially after 2020, after we got through 2021 and 22 with COVID, that isn't the way things unfolded. And so I took a little bit of a different path for a while. But for recent times, it has become something that's on my heart to look at and revisit. And I have built a program that I'm so proud of and am currently launching. It's called Destination Me, and it's a 12-week private coaching journey that I've created for moms who have survived the unimaginable, for moms who are still standing, but feel like they don't even recognize themselves anymore. Like a lot of things I do, it's narrative therapy-based, deeply personal, and work-focused on rebuilding a mom's identity and self-worth after loss. Together, we unpack guilt, challenge grief myths, and slowly rebuild towards a life that can hold both your sorrow and your hope. This isn't therapy. Therapy is often about looking back, untangling trauma and processing pain. Coaching is more about moving forward. It's about building a roadmap, designing your grief truck, and deciding what belongs in the driver's seat of your life right now and going forward. At the time of this recording, I have already filled one spot, and I only have 4 spots open at any time. This is one-on-one, so those are 4 individual spots. But I do have 3 slots still open at the time of this recording. And if you're ready to do this work, if you think you're ready, we can just have a chat, because I'd be honored to hold space with you. We are not what was lost. We are what survived, and what we choose to rebuild with the ashes. Next, let's talk about legacy. You guys know I have a soft spot for legacy, a serious soft spot. Let's talk about the words we wish we had said, the words that we still need to say. The Because They Are Loved anthology book is now open for submissions. This book is going to be filled with poems and letters written by those of us left behind after suicide loss. It's open to anyone who has lost someone to suicide, not just moms, not just parents, anyone. So yes, you can read about the book and the project all on the website, but just to give you a brief idea of what's involved, you submit a short poem or a letter. Instead of a letter, you also could submit an essay. With a poem, you get to submit up to 1 photo or image, and with a letter or essay, up to 3, and a brief bio. And that's it. You'll get a couple of chances, up to 3, for soft edits, and then you'll be listed as an author in a published book. And you'll help build a legacy of love that echoes far beyond your own circle. I only have a limited number of spots in the book, so be sure to grab yours today. You do not have to have your piece written to grab a spot. You can come back to the form later to fill that part in, but just go to the website today to get signed up. The submission deadline for these pieces is June 30th. I write because silence cannot hold the weight of my love, so turn it into something that lives on paper, in pages, in the hands of others who understand. So now I want to talk about something new. This is the first time I'm saying this publicly. My new online community space will be called the Lighthouse Community. It launches sometime in June, possibly July, but my hopes are heavily on June at this point. And it was created as a softer, more affordable way to stay connected and supported. Not everyone wants to be on camera or be in person. Not everyone needs coaching or therapy. Maybe they're not ready for it, but we all need something. Inside the Lighthouse Community, you'll find a grief resource library, weekly themed tools and reflections, a private community chat just for grieving moms, and more to come as we grow. The space will be gentle, flexible, and created specifically for things like late night scrolling, midday breakdowns, or quiet connections without pressure. I built the lighthouse for nights I couldn't see the shore, for the days I needed a signal that someone else was still out there. It doesn't promise to fix the storm, but it promises you're not adrift alone. Now, finally, a quick but important mention. The next cohort of my legacy writing project starts in January of 2026. It's a 13-week guided writing journey for bereaved moms who write their child's story and memories and publish it in a tribute-style book. There's only 7 spots available, and now is the best time to get on the wait list. And remember, that means you can start an extended payment plan. So if this is something that maybe you've been watching from afar, because after all, Volume 6 is almost in print at the time of this recording. If it's something you've wanted to do and you've been on the fence about, now is the time to get on the waiting list for January of 2026. Maybe it's been whispering to you, and I invite you to listen. So there you have it. Coaching, legacy, community, all born from grief, all shaped by you, all created so we can walk this road with more intention and definitely less lonely. And if this podcast or anything I create has given you a moment of comfort or clarity, I'd be grateful if you'd consider supporting it. There's a support the podcast in every show notes of the episode of my podcast, and also a button on my website. Your support helps keep this space free of ads and full of heart. Find links in the podcast notes for any of the offerings I have mentioned, or go straight to my website and read all about them in depth. Or you can always schedule a call and talk with me personally. Thank you for being here, fellow griever. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm not going anywhere. And remember, you're not broken. You're grieving. Talk soon. So, grievers, if you are still listening, in addition to that anthology book I talked about at the beginning, I also have a new Just for Bereaved Moms one-on-one coaching program called Destination Me that will help you release guilt and rebuild self-trust after a child lost by suicide. I have intended to start this one-on-one work for some time. Apparently now is the time. So reach out soon, as I only have a few spots available, but it would be my honor to hold a space for you. So now, as my thank you to you, I want to offer you 5% off of both of these offers I've talked about today, the Because They Are Loved Poetry and Letters Anthology, as well as my new one-on-one coaching program. The coupon code for 5% off of either of these through June 30th only is podcast5. This is my thank you to you for being a listener. And remember, you're not alone. We are in this together. So that's all I have for today, fellow griever. And with one final word from Alice, I will leave us with how puzzling all these changes are. I'm never sure what I'm going to be from one moment to another. Oh, that's so true, isn't it? So until next time, we'll talk soon.